Block 22 Nation, it's your boy Gobo. With me, as always, is my dear friend Dames Marvs, and we are here to recap the chaos that was Week Nine's NFL here on NFL.
It's hell.
It's hell,
Oh, it's
yeah.
hell.
And looking at this slate of games, there is a lot of confusion going on. I won't waste your time. I certainly hope you won't waste mine. Dames, you ready to jump in and go through these?
Yeah, you know what though, Gobo? I'm gonna go ahead and light the Seahawks win candle because I don't care about jinxes anymore. I just want it to smell good in here. So go ahead.
There you go. I almost wore my Rams jersey because that's the only I'm here in sunny California, in my in-laws guest room, live coming at you. I almost wore my Rams jersey because it's the only one that I brought with me on the tour, except my college jersey. But I didn't want to do that to you after that pretty tough loss. But before we head on up to Seattle, um. We're gonna head out east to the home of the long hot dogs, New York, the Jets. I hate them. You hate them,
What the
probably. Um, they top off Houston. We both got it wrong.
what the
Um,
hell, Gobo?
you know what? I think there's a saying that I use around my house. It's a broken clock is right twice a day. Um, And this is an upset for sure. This is definitely the upset of the week. I think it's a primetime game. Crazy shit happens on primetime games. Aaron Rodgers played pretty well. Um, Devontae played
I
pretty well.
disagree. I
You
think Aaron
do?
Rodgers played like garbage, and he was bailed out by two of the most amazing catches I've ever seen in my life. Two one-handed amazing grabs by Garrett Wilson. That dude's a baller.
Garrett Wilson is nice. And we talk about this every week. The Jets, aside from their like Aaron Rodgers suck fest they've been having the last couple of weeks, like they have talented guys like Garrett Wilson and Brees Hall and Sauce Gardner. These are some of the best players in the league. Um, but they're hampered by, Dickless in the backfield there.
Yeah. So, I mean,
I'm
it
sorry.
wasn't his worst game of the year. It definitely was Stroud's worst game of the year. That
Yeah.
dude can't play. And I don't know if you know this. You just said clock, a broken clock is right twice a day. This is the second time CJ Stroud has been to New York and just laid an egg.
And pooped all the perennial beds. Yeah, CJ hopefully recovers. That AFC is going to get a little bit tighter if Houston can't start putting some wins together. Um, I think this is a bad loss for them. I hope they learn from it because they're definitely better than they showed on
You know
Thursday.
what really, just fucking irks me about this game, dude? This would have legitimately put the Jets to bed. Night, 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 Jetty Jets. This would have done it. And now there's like, oh, we still have
Oh,
hope for the Super
we
Bowl.
beat Houston. Yeah, we're gonna win the Super Bowl.
We got
Yeah,
hope for the Super Bowl.
yeah. Aaron Rodgers still has it. Yeah, no, I understand. No, and it's with our good friend Midwest Jet aside, Jets fans are pretty intolerable.
You know what?
Um,
I like have to put him out of my mind to talk about the Jets. I love
I
him that
know.
much.
Because he's such a good guy. He's a great friend, wonderful father, talented musician, just an all around pretty solid dude, and he likes the goofiest team in professional
Yeah.
sports.
Yeah. It's not his
Uh,
fault. It's not his fault.
it's not your fault, Jails. We love you, man. Um, Going on down to Hot Atlanta. Um, This one was kind of a toss up. I predicted Dallas was going to recover and pull off a win, and Kirk Cousins was going to fall apart. You predicted the opposite, and you were correct. Atlanta gets a big home win. Dallas, um, I'm just going to say it, they're done. The Dallas' season is over,
Well,
especially now that Dak is has a season-ending injury.
yeah, I don't know that it's season ending. He might be back, but
What's the point? Yeah.
He shouldn't be because they're done. They should just let him rest up because they're paying him $60 million a year. That's insanity. But I don't really have anything else to say.
I was gonna say the only other thing I wanted to say about this. I know that we made fun of like Spencer Rattler for having a fake made up name. Cooper Rush. Like, are we literally playing Tecmo Bowl at this point? Like, it's like, yeah, it's just literally, I feel like we're just writing a script with names that sound like football players. It's like, play and playing guard is Joe Tackle.
Do you think about
Uh,
this though? CD Lamb, that like has a completely different meaning. Like if you were out in the woods or out on some farm and there was like some lamb doing something off and that's a CD lamb.
I mean, or think about it like a female adult film actress named CeeDee Lamb.
There you go.
I'm just saying,
I like yours
CD,
better.
CD, if you're watching, please don't punch me in the face because you would probably kill me. You're very talented. I like CD Lamb a lot. I think he's on a bad team. Um, okay, this next one. Okay, here's where Gobo starts to climb back into the rankings. Um, Baltimore hosting Denver. We both kind of pegged this as the game of the week. We thought it was going to be very competitive, very a lot high flying, good offenses, some big hits, and we saw that from one of the teams. Baltimore gives Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos a shellacking 41-10. I picked Baltimore, you picked Denver, both in close games. Um, I don't know. What is there to say about this one?
Well, why'd you let me do this?
Because I wanted to win,
Why
obviously.
did I mean I clearly did this just because it was different. I didn't believe this for a second. There's no way.
Well,
It's
you know
funny
what?
how
Okay,
week to week
I
we
will
have no
say,
accountability.
I
Like
will say
I don't.
in your defense, Denver has put together a couple of dynamic games, and Baltimore has shown their underbelly a couple of times. They've played poorly. They
That's
really
the
have.
only reason. That's the only reason I decided to go different than you. Because there's no, I didn't believe this for a second.
But yeah, this one came down to talent levels, and Denver was just they played some man football. They've been playing boy football, this like high school, college, like trick plays, young quarterback running, throwing across his body, defense doing crazy stunts, making like big tip interceptions and shit. And then Lamar Jackson's like, okay, you know what? Here's what football actually is. And they got their ass beat. Um, Buffalo hosts Miami. Tua plays in this game. He actually didn't look terrible. He didn't look great. That Devin Arachne, is that how you say his name? Arcany? Whatever. The running back for the Dolphins actually had a really good game. Dude's crazy athletic.
A-chain.
Achan, that's right. Thank you. But Buffalo still gets the win in a close one. Josh Allen magic, man. The dude, he finds ways to win. So 30-27, we both picked Buffalo. I miss anything in this one?
61-yard field goal.
That's right. What a
Whew.
kick.
What's his
Love
name?
it. He had like because I always thought it was Dicker played for Buffalo, but no, he plays for a different team. Yeah, who's Buffalo's kicker? Hang on, I'm gonna look it up. Buffalo.
No, I know it's
Tyler
Tyler
Bass.
Bass. Tyler Bass.
That's right. I was like, yeah, okay. He's been in the league forever. Tyler Bass, 61 yarder. I mean, that's clutch. There's a commercial out that I've been that you see every once in a while, and it's like all this pressure on kickers, and then it's just like I can't remember, like some quarterback comes out, he's like, hey man, it's just a kick. And it's just like, God bless you, man. I couldn't imagine how much pressure that is to kick a game-winning field goal, especially 61 yards. Like that's a scenario that if you miss it, nobody's going to be mad at you.
Yeah, I'm like that. That's what removes the pressure, kind of.
I guess so.
Like
Yeah, it's
no
just
one's
like
gonna like
it's a miracle if you make it. If you miss it, it's like nobody could have made
no
that.
one's gonna shit in my shoe in the locker room if I miss
Yeah.
this.
It's not a 27-yard field goal and you're down by one. Like this game's still tied if you miss. So, but Bass nails it. Buffalo wins. Um I think if I'm Tua Tagovailoa or whatever, I always struggle saying his whole name. At this point, I probably ask management to just take the rest of the season off. Like take a pay cut and just and heal your brain. You're not making the playoffs. Like the rest of the team can't function without you, and basically your brain is scrambled eggs at this point. Like I don't know. He's not going to. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to say something bold about this game. There's not really much to say though.
Well, no, I mean to that point, he wouldn't have to make a point. He would just say, "Look, I don't feel like I can play." And they'd be like, "Got it. You're done. That's it." That's how I feel about it. No one's pressuring him to come back. He's the one saying, "I'm going to play until I'm dead." And it's weird. It's a weird flex when your team is out of the playoff chase.
Right.
But
Exactly.
you can't argue that they're a better team with him on that field.
100% they are, yeah. 100%.
So, I mean,
But
I'm
think
not going
about
to go where
how
you're
much,
at.
but they're better with him, but but when he's hurt, when he's playing hurt and playing healthy, they're like eons better when he's healthy.
No question asked. No question.
That's my mentality. And like I said, this year is a wash. And you also got to worry about player safety. Either way, this next one is kind of funny to me. The toilet bowl, New Orleans and Carolina. Um, I had one of my Facebook followers sent me a picture. He was at the game in the 300 level, and there was nobody in his section.
I was like, there were ticket sales for this game?
I think he either got his ticket for like $5 or maybe even just showed up and walked in. There was like I mean, it was like it was in the thousands, but it was definitely, I don't know if it was even in the 10,000s. Like there was nobody at this game. Um, and we both predicted a 1 point victory, and we were right. I picked Carolina, you picked New Orleans. Final score: Panthers 23, Saints 22. Derek Carr returns. Saints still suck.
I'm pissed, dude. Because here's why. I made this about Spencer Rattler. I said this is gonna be his coming out party. And then I find out later that Derek Carr's starting, and I'm like, yes, I got this one in the bag, motherfuckers.
I was gonna say if Carr, yeah, I mean Carr should have won this game.
And then Bryce Young comes in, little this, little that, 1 point win. Fuck my life.
Yeah, whatever. Who gives a shit
Whatever.
about the team?
Fuck shit.
Yeah. Doop doop doo. The
All
Raiders
right, us.
go to Tigerland. The great state of Cincinnati. And the Bengals had not had a home win this whole season, which is why I picked the Raiders to win this one. I was wrong, of course. Cincinnati actually put together a pretty cohesive victory. Are the Raiders that bad, or is Cincinnati just one of those teams that, like, when they show up, they're good?
Like, dude, I realized that Max Crosby didn't go anywhere, but he asked.
He did.
That's
No,
big enough.
he said in an interview, "I'm fucking tired of this team." Like he literally said that.
So, I mean, they're bad. Yeah, they're bad.
They're
They're
bad,
they're real bad.
bad, bad, bad.
They're bad.
So, yeah, I don't know how threatening Cincinnati is. The Raiders are just not. Yeah, they ain't doing shit. Um, Going up north, up the whatever highway that's in Ohio, the Robert E. Lee Memorial Highway. Um, Cleveland hosts the Chargers. You picked the Browns for some strange reason. Chargers, whoop them. Herbie takes it 27-10 over the Brownies.
That yeah, speaking of brownies, I must have been high when we did this.
You know,
Because look, they came off a big win on Baltimore. That's the only reason.
I was gonna say, like, yeah, when I came to your house and I brought you Colorado rosin edibles and we laughed for like 7 hours. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
how high you must have been.
could have used that last night.
Oh my goodness. I'm with you. Um, it was a long one. Um,
Yeah.
so speaking of terrible disappointments, the Giants, and our good friend Jass, who actually before the game predicted a Giants loss. I'm
For
so
the
proud of
first
him.
time.
It's the first time ever. I've been on this show for 2.5 seasons, and
You know what, though?
he never predicted the Giants to lose.
He's a ray of sunshine in life.
He
But that
is.
was one of the saddest correspondent videos I've ever watched in my life.
There's
Like
been some
me,
sad.
I almost be like send it back and be like just predict a win because I cannot take this sadness coming emanating from your video. And you can see that video on TikTok, ladies and gentlemen.
You can.
Be one of
See lots of
700,
videos on TikTok.
be one of the 700 to 800 people that have viewed that video.
I mean, it's a good one. Um, is closer than I thought. Um, Daniel
That just makes
Jones.
it worse though.
I know, yeah. Daniel Jones finally gets a home touchdown after seven. What is it like? 7 consecutive home games without throwing a touchdown.
Yeah.
But he gets one in this game, and they still lose. Um, is Jaden? How hurt is Jaden Reed?
Jaden Daniels,
Jaden Daniels. Sorry, Jaden Reed plays for the Packers.
he's playing. That's he got some rib hurts. I mean, it's gonna it's gonna hurt when he breathes, but that's
Being a quarterback in the NFL, son.
the price of life in the football.
I wish him well. I like him. He's a great kid.
I love him. I think he's great. He's the
And
best story in the NFL right now.
here is another exciting game. Oh, there we go. Tennessee finally gets a win, but we both called this wrong. They beat Drake May, who throws a dime to get the game into overtime. Tennessee still wins in overtime against the Patriots. We both picked New England.
Yeah, I gotta admit, like this one hurt my heart a little bit. And it's not that I like New England or anything. I just, I felt this would have been a big, I talked about it even. This would have been a big stepping stone after a big win over the Jets to come in and just take out a team that's bad. And when Drake May threw that touchdown pass to get it to overtime, I was like, that's yes, yes. Mwah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, overtime did not go the way I wanted it for any of the overtime teams this week.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Um, New England doesn't have a great defense, I think is the problem. When you allow Will Levis to move the ball like that. Um, this one hurt though too because I'm not a New England fan at all. I do like Drake May. I like his kind of backstory. I like North Carolina. Um, like he's got a big task in front of him, and the fact that the Patriots chose him as their guy, and he went out there and he chucked and he hit that pass, man. Like he didn't lose this game, so I like him. I hope that this Patriots team around him gets better. I don't even really know if I hope that much, but I hope he continues to have success.
You know what? I feel like we always are like rooting on rookie quarterbacks. I know that like even Caleb Williams as a Bear, you've you've dunked on him a couple times, but like we ultimately are like, please be good. Like,
Here's the thing about it is like it's hard with a rival, which I know you know that. Um, because the Seahawks have so many storied rivals as well. But like the Bears and the Packers, like I mean, it's like Hatfields and McCoys. Like we just hate each other. Like they're not. It's not a gentleman's rivalry. Like I can go and have a beer with a Vikings fan and be like, ah, that was a fun game to watch. If we lose to the Bears, I'm like, fuck every person in Illinois. Like, and it's not fair because I know a lot of very nice people in Chicago, but like, um, I don't want to wish the Bears success, but like, I also don't want to like this is a young kid. He's coming in, he's got his whole life ahead of him. He's got like all of his dreams on the line. He seems like a nice enough guy. He's a hardworking kid. I don't wish him personal peril. I just like it's hard to root for his success. But the rest of the rookies, I do. Like I like that Bo Nix is playing well. I like that Jaden Daniels is playing well. Like I hope Drake May, I hope his team kind of figures it out. Bryce Young, I know he was a rookie last year, but that was kind of one where I'm like, this one was a pretty obvious whiff by the Panthers. Like it was
But that
hard to.
doesn't make me wish him any less success.
No, I don't honestly, aside from like guys like, Deshaun Watson, like there's I don't really wish like malice towards really anybody in the NFL. Um, they provide a product that I very much enjoy. So like I try to support the game as much as I can. As long as you haven't done something like, you know, what Joey Bosa yelling in that interview or like Harrison Butker or any of those guys. Like aside from like those guys, pretty much everyone I'm like, live your life, Kings. Um, anyways, before we get into anything more philosophical, let's talk about the Bears. And Caleb Williams' complete inability to move the ball on a super pedestrian Cardinals defense. What the fuck happened in this game?
I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. Arizona saw the division lead within their grasp and they just took it. They took it.
They did. It's funny. I texted my brother. My brother's a big Bears fan, and I texted him before the game. I'm like, "Do you know that going into this game, Arizona's in first place, the Bears are in last place in their division, and the Bears have a better record than Arizona." Um, and we had a good laugh about that. Not the case anymore
That's
with the
some
win. But
funky
yeah,
cold
the Bears were
Medina.
5-4, and Arizona was 4-4 going in.
That's some funky cold Medina right there.
It sure is. But yeah, the Cardinals looked pretty good in this game, man. Kyler looked confident. I haven't seen him look confident in like 3 seasons. So, and then that Marvin Harrison, man, like it's so funny. They did an interview with him, and I thought you would think this is interesting because like I'm a big fan of his dad's as well, but like they asked him, they're like, "Does your dad ever give you wide receiving tips?" And he's like, "Not anymore. No, like now that I'm in the league, he lets me be my own man. But
Right.
my little brother who's still in college, he gives him tips all the time." I'm like, okay, that's pretty funny.
That's funny.
Marvin Harrison shout out. Um, Philly and Jacksonville. Jacksonville won this game.
No, they didn't.
They didn't. Oh, you wrote
I'm
down that they did.
sorry.
That's right. They turned it over at the end. I was
I'm
like, I
sorry.
knew it
I
was
I fucked that
close.
up because I was going too fast. But
Oh, you're fine, dude.
Jacksonville's doing Jacksonville things,
They
which
are.
is to play at a level that's close enough to win the game and then not win it.
I did watch a
When
good
is it
portion
a
of this
buck this
game,
trend?
and I saw panic in the Philly stands. I saw guys in the stands like, oh my, if they blow this fucking game, I swear to God.
And I'll tell you exactly why. Um, Solari and Hertz cannot stand each other. This is confirmed.
I was gonna say,
They
I
cannot
feel like
communicate with each other without somebody in between them. And that, no matter how good this Eagles team is, that will be a problem for them as the season moves on.
100%. I see the Eagles as a good team. I don't think they're the elite of the NFC anymore. I think that if anybody thinks that the Eagles are a Super Bowl contender this year, you are completely delusional.
Yeah, I
Like,
agree.
and Jason Kelsey, I mean, it's so crazy to me. I've said it before, I'll say it again, that an offensive lineman has that much impact on a team. But he did. He was the leader of that offense. He's the reason the tush push worked, and that's just gone now.
And he's a
Uh,
major headline in our other show.
yeah. Check out the other show. Um, okay, so speaking of the class of the NFC, I watched this Packers game. I posted my prediction video where I said other things. I also said that I was not confident the Packers were going to win. And the reason is I watched this game. It's very apparent both of these teams are really talented. The difference is Green Bay makes mistakes, Detroit doesn't. I watched them. They were ironclad. They didn't commit penalties, they didn't commit turnovers. They guys were catching the ball, guys weren't fumbling. Um and then I saw the Packers were plagued with drops, lots of dropped passes. I know it was wet. And then Jordan Love, man, you've had better games. You've had better games. He's a great quarterback, but he makes some really shitty decisions. And this is like the second game. He did this against I think it was Arizona where he just threw kind of a duck in their own red zone and for a touchdown, where it was like one of those passes like you absolutely did not need to throw it. And he did that again in this game. This time we ended up losing the game. So was it because of that pass? No, but it certainly didn't help us.
Do
I
you
don't know.
feel like many Packers fans feel that you guys gave them this game more than they wanted?
And I heard that notion. I think that there was do so let's say if the Packers play a perfect game, we don't make mistakes, I think then we definitely have a chance at winning this game. It's hard to say because it's so hypothetical, but I don't want to take anything away from Detroit because they did play a really good game. That David Montgomery, super solid rusher. He made some great moves. Their offensive line looked good. Their defense looked really good. Um, That being said, they're beatable, but man, not the way we played. So I think there's some truth to that, but I don't want to like say that Detroit played a bad game or anything because they certainly didn't.
No, I feel like, and I gotta admit it, dude. I feel like Jared Goff is an assassin. I think he's my front runner for MVP right now. And what I mean by assassin is like you can't blitz the guy. If you blitz him, he's gonna make you pay.
To find it.
And that to
Yeah.
me is assassinistic.
No, I mean he like before this game he hadn't thrown an incomplete pass in like some odd hundred like dozens and dozens of attempts. He threw a couple incomplete passes in this game, but it was like four or five. Like it wasn't a lot. And there was torrential rain. So like you can't really blame him for throwing. So I mean, I don't want to like give him a break, because I kind of held the Packers up to a higher standard, but like he looked great in this game. His passes are super accurate. And I think that Goff gets a lot of shit because like he's not a super dynamic guy, like he's not a super mobile quarterback. Um, he doesn't make like these huge audibles or like there's not a lot that's like super memorable about him, but the way he throws the ball and the way he gets it to his receivers every single time, I think that that's really pretty admirable because that's all you need when you have a team like Detroit. So I'm gonna say like I think the Lions are the best team in the NFL right now.
Did they do enough with their pass rush at the deadline?
Because they
That's
picked
my
up
only question on them
they
being a
picked up
Super Bowl winner.
Za'Darius, right, from the Browns. Yeah.
That's the only question I have with them being a Super Bowl winner is they don't have a pass rush after Hutch went down.
Hutch went down. Well, here's the thing, does Hutch come back for the playoffs?
I'll drink right now. I don't know.
I was gonna say, I don't know. Like we don't know what the future holds. And I also like, and I will say I've called Dan Campbell a shitty coach before. I want to like partially take that back because I don't his schemes suck. Like he's not a smart coach, but I tell you what, man, those players play their ass off for him. Like the players love him, and he gets the best performance out of those guys. So that's
Dude,
pretty admirable.
and I'm not trying to take away what you're saying, but even when the Lions were 0-16, there was no one playing harder, in my opinion. Like I always felt like they could have won any of those games. They just didn't. They were like the Jacksonville. I mean, but I don't see Jacksonville put in there. And it all started with Matthew Stafford in those days.
Well,
So
Matthew Stafford's just he's just a tough motherfucker, man. Like that guy. And I think that's a really good segue talking about Matthew Stafford's game with your Seahawks, which was an unfortunate ending for sure.
It was unfortunate everything. Puka Nakua gets thrown out for throwing a punch at Kobe Bryant. I don't agree with that. They always catch the second guy. Yeah, Kobe Bryant just pushed him, and that doesn't warrant a punch, but honestly, like I don't like that rule for whatever reason. So no Puka Nakua the rest of the game. Um, Geno Smith throws two crucial red zone interceptions. One of them ends up being a 103-yard pick six. Um, my my question is like I'm not mad at Geno. Let me start there. All right. The first
That's
interception,
that's brave of you.
the first interception of the day. And dude, I went back and I watched all of this again.
I'm sure you did.
Bounces off Jackson Smith and Jigba's hands. There's nothing Geno Smith can do about that. History will say that interception's on him. I'm not looking at just the score line and going Geno sucks. I'm looking at what actually happens in the game. All right. The dude is pressured more than any other quarterback in the NFL. That is a fact. Our offensive line is terrible. And I think it was 93 pressures on dropbacks this season, which is like over 51% of his dropbacks. What do we know about Geno? When he has a clean pocket, the numbers also say that he is the most accurate quarterback in the NFL. That's 3 years of statistics telling us that now, since he took over on this team. So when you look at those statistics, you say, wow, we have a terrible offensive line. We have the most accurate quarterback when there's not pressure. Why did we do nothing at the deadline to up our offensive line? Why? I can't answer that question. What did we do? We traded away the quarterback that everybody's wanting to see start now over Geno Smith. They're like, you know what, guys? We're ending this right now. Fuck you. Dallas, give us your third round pick, which is a fleecing. We fleeced them.
I was gonna say that's third round picks, not
We
nothing.
got
That's a
Sam Howell for a sixth round pick. So we just jumped up 3 rounds for a guy. And like, here you go.
I love that for you.
I can't wait to see him fail in Dallas as Dak did, because then I can look at the Seahawk fans who are like, I'd be like, look, he actually has a good offensive line there, more decent than ours, for sure. And he sucks. He sucks. Watch him lead them to like 5 straight wins or something.
No, yeah, watch him get the stupid Cowboys.
But seriously,
Um,
the second interception by Geno Smith was the 103-yard. All right, you had K9 in the flat, and it looked like he just threw the ball to the guy. Well, on further review, his arm got hit in the middle of that throw because he's being pressured.
okay.
And what we didn't see live was Jackson Smith and Jigba jetting across the end zone in the back of the end zone, and the ball just goes like it was a duck, man. He hit his arm, duck right to the guy, and then what are you gonna do? Bob's your uncle. He's gone. So I
Yeah.
was pissed when I was like, "What was that?" But then I went back and rewatched it. I was like, "Oh, well, when your
Oh,
arm
okay.
gets hit, it's hard to get the amount of
Yeah.
boom on
No,
the ball that you need
I
to."
was gonna say your defense of Geno is admirable because yeah, I did not see his arm get hit, and I mean I believe you, but yeah, in the moment I remember
It
because I don't
looked
know
bad.
if we were on TikTok live yet or if I was just texting you, but I saw that happen and I was like, oh my fucking God.
Yeah, we were both like, what the hell was that?"
What was that pass?
And
Like
then the very
he just
next
gave
time
it to him.
down, and these are both in the fourth quarter, mind you. And then the next time down, he throws it another one on the other side of the field, and I'm like, what the hell? So I went back and I watched. Dude, that pass was exactly where it was supposed to be. The tight end got held. he got held and he couldn't get there.
Uh,
So like these are and like I get Gino's frustration, like, but I mean the bottom line is he took the blame. He's like, I can't be doing that.
yeah, you can't throw three picks in a game, but like, yeah, you got to find ways to not throw those picks. Like three times is too many.
Then he
Um,
gets us to let me just finish up. Then he gets us to overtime with a brilliant throw uh
hmm,
in the fourth quarter. In overtime, uh
Jackson,
yeah, to Jackson. And then in overtime, we drive all the way down the field. 4th and 1. Ryan Grubb calls the worst fucking fourth down play I've ever seen in my life. You know, Ryan Grubb, that we don't have guards. Our biggest need on our entire team is guards. And you run, look, what do we know about 4th and 1, Gobo? What's going to get you that yard? Momentum.
tush push, man. Yeah,
Momentum.
you gotta
Dude,
get your
the
meat
play
needs to meet
called,
their
the
meat.
play
Yeah,
called was a C gap between the guard and the center, and it was across the grain. He came from this side of the field, was handed the ball. You're not going to get momentum going this way. You get momentum running straight up and down.
right.
For those Seahawk fans that are going to blame Geno Smith for this game, that's fine. I don't care. We're not going to see Sam Howell. But I will tell you this: the first touchdown of the game, we miss an extra point. If we have that extra point, we win this game 21-20 in regulation. Who's to blame? Who's to blame?
No, those missed extra points definitely add up for sure. So a tough loss for the boys in blue or teal. No, teal, yeah, it's like navy and lime green. Anyways, so Seattle, they blow it, sucks, but we soldier on. This next game is a lot less interesting. Minnesota and Indianapolis, we both picked Minnesota to win big. It was a little closer than I thought. Is Minnesota starting to slip down a little bit?
Yeah, yeah. Sam Darnold was an MVP candidate, top 5 for the first 5 weeks. Now he's dropped into like 13th place. So he's Sam Darnold.
I mean, Sam darn it. I tell you what. Um, there's not really much to talk about in this game. I mean, I'm proud of Indy for keeping it closer, but like, yeah, I mean, Anthony Richardson is still not it. Um, okay, and then concluding another game we both got right. Kansas City. We almost both of us got very close to getting the scores right too. Kansas City beats Tampa Bay with some bullshit. They remain undefeated. Whatever. I don't want to fucking talk about this team. Like
I do
there's
for a second,
okay,
Gobo.
I'll let you talk because I don't
Here's
think
the
there's
thing.
anything to talk about with the Chiefs.
DeAndre Hopkins is going to be really good for them. But here's what
Okay.
I want to talk about the Chiefs now that they're 8-0. Do I think they're going to go 17-0? No. But it's clear to me that when their backs are against the wall, they just win. Now, there is a narrative about the officiating. I'm not going to go there ever again. I'm just done with it.
I'm having that conversation too.
If there's a narrative about that, you're a team coming into Kansas City or they're coming to you, you know that narrative. If it's there, you know it. So you know that you're going to have to outplay that. So I really don't want to hear about it anymore. There was a couple things I was like, Jesus. The biggest one was on the offensive tackle late in the fourth quarter on a crucial down. He jumped like 2 seconds before the ball and no false start called. And like people are starting to riot about this shit. And I get it, but that's not what cost them the game. They still made it to overtime. Baker
I mean,
called
yeah,
the thing.
yeah, here's the thing is like just beat them by enough that they can't ref you out of the game.
Yeah.
That's the only way to do it.
That's what I'm saying. You have to factor this in. If
Mhm.
it's at this point in the season become a narrative, you know that in your week of preparation, and you just have to be better. So I mean, I know that's a shitty thing to have to prep for and know, but if that's going to be something that you walk away from everything saying, and I'm not going to be that guy, but if that's something that you need to prepare for it and you need to be better than it. What I'm looking at now, Gobo, is who's going to beat them. We got to start talking about the fact that we may see the first three-peat in the history of the NFL. If we do, that's exciting to me because I don't think that of all of Tom Brady that I've ever seen, I never seen him do that.
No team has ever done that.
Nobody has.
Yeah.
So
Most of the repeating Super Bowl champions didn't even make the playoffs the following,
correct,
yeah. And I
correct.
mean, the Chiefs are certainly making the playoffs. So,
Yeah.
uh,
So I mean, I don't really like the Chiefs, but I'm excited to see what happens. Who's gonna take them out? Good
I
luck.
mean,
Good luck, motherfuckers.
yeah, Chapel Roan, good luck, babe. I mean, it's pretty tough because these games, because that's the thing, the Chiefs. Like I said, I don't want to talk about I'm not going to talk about the ref narrative, but it's just like if it's a close game, I like the Chiefs in most close games. And that's the thing is just like I mean like Houston or like Buffalo are kind of like the better teams in the AFC. I don't see them either of them blowing out the Chiefs. I see either of them capable of beating them, but like not in a blowout. And then it's just like so, and then so the basically they just have to beat like Detroit in the Super Bowl. Like they can do it.
What I want to see right now, if the playoffs were right now, I want to see Baltimore, Buffalo. I want Buffalo to win that game, and then I want to see Buffalo, Kansas City at full strength. I don't care where it is. That's the game I want.
Yeah.
And I think I'll get at least one of those games.
100%. The playoffs are going to be wild this year, man. Because you know that the Commanders are probably going to make it on the NFC side, and you never know what's going to
That's
happen with
exciting to me, man. I mean,
yeah. The
could be the
AFC.
second rookie quarterback to win a playoff game. So
Yeah, I mean the AFC you're gonna see you're probably gonna see like the Chargers, just some
Denver,
wacky stuff
maybe.
is gonna happen.
Denver, maybe.
Maybe Denver would be in the playoffs if it started today. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the end of the season here. I mean, I'm looking forward to the rest of the season as well. It's not that I want the season to end. Um, but yeah, so it looks like so there's the recap of week 9. We look forward to week 10. So we're gonna reload and we're gonna talk about week 10 on our next show, as well as some NFL news, including the trade deadline and some of the moves made by some of these teams. Who did too much, who did not enough? We're gonna find out. But yeah, make sure to follow us, like, share, subscribe. Check out all of our wacky doings. Check us out on TikTok. There you can see our hype videos, some of our recaps of our shows, and some other real fun stuff. Our TikTok is a really good community, and we really appreciate all of the followers, comments that we've received so far. So please make sure if you'd like to be a part of that, please feel free to weigh in. Put your picks on the next video's comments. Um, do we have a synopsis of the last week's picks?
Yeah, I think she went 9-6, same as me.
Oh, okay, so didn't beat Gobo though.
Correct. Gobo was
So
10-5. The son of a bitch is now 3-5-1. I'm 5-3-1. So you got a little ways to go. But if you think about it, one of those losses isn't necessarily on you, but it is because you didn't fucking show up.
that's true. Yes,
So you
I was
accept
my
whoever.
face. It's hard to do sports commentary with a paralyzed face, but no, it's totally understandable. Um,
No excuses.
no excuses, damn it. So I get on here like, yeah, okay. Um,
Gobo, why
anyways,
are you drooling? Uh,
I'm not drooling. Yeah, I know. But I am pretty much I think fully healed now. I seem to be moving my face pretty well. Um But either way, I appreciate everybody watching, enjoying our special brand of nonsense, and make sure to stick around for the prediction show and the news. James.
Caw-caw.